Hey guys, my name is Yohan, and welcome back to my channel, YoFrags. Today, I'll be doing a first impression of Zaharoff's signature Black Rose and signature Rosé. I'm really excited because I've heard so much about this brand and this fragrance house. I'm sure, as you guys know as well, there's a lot of fragrance reviewers who do a lot of, I don't want to say like publicity, but they work closely with Zaharoff. I believe like Curly Sense, Justin Copeland, TLTG from Ross, they had their own like signature line with that, which I thought was cool. And I love Rose, so when I saw that they had the Black Rose and signature Rosé, I knew I had to try it. I think by far Rose is my favorite of all the notes. I think Rose and I want to say Fig. I think those two notes I really enjoy. But I won't keep you guys waiting long. I haven't done much research on these other than kind of what notes they may or may not have, and then some other YouTubers, reviews. I did get the 3 milliliter samples, which they have on the Zaharoff website, so I highly recommend checking it out. Super affordable. I think one of these is like $7, not including shipping and tax, of course. But regardless, I will do Rosé first. And I don't know if you guys have seen their bottles or not, but ooh. Oh. So this does remind me a lot of Parfums de Marly Delina, which I actually bought that scent for my fiance not too long ago. Which I did think it leaned feminine, obviously. It's marketed towards women, I believe. But in my personal opinion, I think most fragrances, if not every, are pretty much unisex. I think anybody can wear what they want. If they rock it and they're confident with it, more power to you. Ooh, but this is really nice. It's a very sweet rose. I'm getting like this cleanly radiance from it. Yeah, almost like slightly vanillic rose, but not in the sense of like gourmand vanilla, but just more so like almost like cotton candy, where they kind of like fluffs it up a bit. It's very fluffy. It is slightly more feminine leaning, but I think it's amazing. I mean, very sparkly, effervescent, but that sweetness really keeps it close. Like it almost smells like a drink where it's like that club soda vibe. I think I've given that comparison before. I don't remember exactly what, but top of my head. Oh, but this is very nice. I think it's very fluffy, radiant, slightly sparkly in the beginning. It is starting to die down more now, and it's becoming more sweet and kind of not earthy, but more floral. It reminds me a lot of Aaron Terrence Hughes' Red Fever, which I'm so excited for that 2025 release of making his fragrances here in the States. But this reminds me of a cleaner, not as like warm version of that. This is definitely brighter, cleaner, lighter, but definitely lighter. But it still has that very pleasing rose scent. Slightly sweet. I think Aaron Terrence Hughes' Red Fever, that leans more, at least on my skin, leans kind of skanky in the sense of like, once it's definitely warmer, so like it reacts with that heat and off my body specifically too. It gives it this more like seductive kind of vibe. This one gives more of like a very light, fluffy, airy, pleasant scent rather than trying to lure you in. It's more just like somebody's walking past and you smell this. It's like, oh, it's very it's here and there. It's very airy and it kind of just flows. Yeah, that's really good. I really like that. Halfeti, Black Rose. I am excited. Ooh, yeah, I can already smell that in the air. Definitely spicier. Like off the bat, off rip, it's much spicier. A lot more woody. Very aromatic. The rose is definitely not a sweet rose. Complete opposite from Signature Rose and Aaron Terrence uses Red Fever, which I compared it to. This one is definitely more like a masculine rose. So if you're one of those people who, don't like the sweet feminine rose, and a little more masculine leaning, this one is not a feminine rose at all. Very masculine, very earthy. Those like woody facets and the spicy facets are really nice. That's really, really nice. But completely different vibe. I think if you're looking for a scent that has rose, but you're turned off by that sweet feminine rose, very like airy, this one is definitely more rooted, a lot more aromatic, a lot more traditional in terms of like how I don't want to say a mass appealing like designer fragrance would be, but it does give off that vibe where it's like an elevated designer where all the ingredients smell super natural. You don't get this synthetic feeling at all with any of these. It's very nice, honestly. There's nothing much I can really say. In terms of the notes that I get, almost maybe like cardamom, like this spicy, warm facet that I get. I haven't looked up the notes for this at all. But I'm getting this very warm, spicy, like it goes from fresh spicy to warm, like almost ambery in a sense. But it's very clean. You still get that freshness coming into the top. It does fade away pretty quickly in my opinion. Like it is slightly my guess would be bergamot, which is that fresh spiciness mixed with some other greens. And then towards now that it's drying down more, you definitely get more of like that vetiver and the musk. And that rose, like it just peeks in every now and then. Definitely not too sweet. Definitely not feminine leaning. So if you are one of those people, like I said, you don't think those very airy, effervescent, almost sweet roses scents, you just kind of stay away from those. Doesn't do it for you. I would highly recommend getting a sample of Signature Black Rose. I don't know if it's personally for me. I think it's a very nice fragrance, but it's not typically a scent signature I go for. I do like how it kind of gives off this richer, like rooted, definitely not fluffy. It's definitely grounded and rooted. Doesn't have that radiance of the first one, but when I'm smelling, it kind of smells like as you wear it more and as you heat up more, it'll start to kind of lift off. But it's definitely, the best way I can describe it is very grounded, not sharp, still pretty round, but overall like very stable. That's the way I would put it. The Signature Rose kind of felt poppy and fluffy, where it just like the fragrance itself kind of like jumps out at you and is very bubbly. This one is very stable. I apologize if none of that makes sense, but that was my first impressions on Zaharoff's Signature Rose and signature black rose. Please let me know if what your guys' thoughts are on these fragrances if you've tried them before. Really recommend getting your nose on these. I knew I would like signature rose. Black rose wanted to try it because it sounded so interesting to me, and from the review videos that I've seen and the little snippets that I kind of saw when I was looking up these fragrances, it sounded appealing enough for me to sample it. Like I always say, try before you buy. But again, thank you for joining me tonight. This was my first impressions. Have a good rest of your day, stay safe, and God bless.